Hey there, Vols fans. Welcome to another episode of Tennessee Fan Talk, the second episode of this week, where we're going to talk about Vols, some future games, a little bit about what happened on Saturday, too, what absolute hypocrisy on social media, and some predictions that we might have. All that, a little bit more. Get on in here with us.
Hey Vols fans, welcome to Tennessee Fan Talk, the show that is by Tennessee fans for Tennessee fans and your source for hilarious weekly updates on everything Volunteers. And now for the moment you've been waiting all week for, here is Brandon Byrd and the Duke.
All right, guys, welcome back. As usual, got myself, Brandon Byrd. We got the Duke over here to my side. You want to follow him at Twitter at Brad Rush. Myself is Instagram at Brandon Byrd TN. And down below, we have returned from last year, special guest Adam Williams. Joined us last year around the Ole Miss thing, which is another hype game. Here we are, right after the next year, another hyped up game, another very loud stadium. And we're happy to have you back.
Hey, thanks for having me back, guys. What a weekend. What a game. That was great. Hey, I got to ask, where do you find this guy that you had on before? I would say, where do you find him? But I guess I see about 10,000 of this guy at every home game. Did he call me Lane Kiffin?
He did call you Lane Kiffin, and we pluck them and we just feed them sausage and country fried ham and keep them around.
His corn's in comes from a can kind of thing. Very stereotypical.
Well, I imagine he knows football, so
that's right.
He knows University of Tennessee football anyway.
That's right. Guys, this week coming off a big win, we're going to host UT Martin.
Is it homecoming?
It would have to be. Come on.
I mean, Vanderbilt could be homecoming, even though we're playing at Vanderbilt this year. That would be funny to have your homecoming in Nashville.
Yeah. We're gonna move. We're gonna move this for stadium renovations for 23. We're gonna move our homecoming to the end of the year and hold it in Nashville.
Knoxville West.
Oh, so they've already put in the kickoff time for a noon Eastern game hosting
SEC Network, probably.
I haven't looked at what it's going to be with on what network, but I would imagine
or ESPN Plus.
I really hope not. I mean, you would think that
if it's on ESPN Plus, guaranteed, I'm not watching
it. You would think after a win that they're just going to show us. It's not going to be a prime time, on ESPN, but SEC Network, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to sign up for Sling or anything silly to be able to watch it.
Which I had to do to watch the Akron game.
Well, yeah,
it's like when they put the Preds on the ESPN Plus. I hate it. Like I refuse. The Preds stink right now, but I refuse to pay. I'll keep up with it on Twitter. Other than that, I'm not paying to watch us play UT Martin.
So prior to the show, Duke and I were talking, and Vol Nation's going to have to continue doing what they do, especially Tennessee Twitter. And guys, right there, hashtag Hooker for Heisman. We got to make a case for him because he's still not sitting in first place. CJ Stroud still in there. He's got less yards than Hooker. He does have more touchdowns. He has more interceptions. But when you look at strength of schedule, his last 5 here were Arkansas State, Toledo, Wisconsin, Rutgers, and then Michigan State. I guess prior to that was Notre Dame to open the season.
Notre Dame stinks. They are so bad.
he has not played. Notre Dame was ranked 5th when he played them.
Okay, that is that's highway robbery.
Preseason. So you really got to take that out. He has not played a ranked team, and yet he still sits in first place.
Yeah, typical, Big Ten darling of national media situation going on there. You look at Hendon is putting up. We've thrown around the term video game numbers for years, but these are. I mean, it literally reminds me of playing college football 14, and you try to like chill out a little bit to make it more realistic because it's a little too easy. I mean, these, 16 for 20 and 280 yards, just no problem outings, as well as on. I mean, let's be honest, the biggest game in the history of Tennessee football this millennium. Okay, we've not had a bigger game probably since the 2001 SEC championship, in my opinion. And to put up the numbers that he did in the manner that he did, the accuracy is just, it's incredible. Those wide receivers must be having a blast out there. And I'm telling you, man, you can tell that they are just running beautiful routes.
He's very calm about that deep ball. I mean, he's calm about it. Now, he's not great at something that's rushed and dump off over the middle. He's not great at it. I mean, Bryce Young is better than Hendon Hooker at that aspect. But it's because he doesn't have to do it all game. You constantly, every game that Alabama has been close in, the Texas game, the A&M game, you constantly see him having to run and having to make these run up to the line. Oh, no one can do it better than Bryce Young. Run up to the line and stop and throw it,
Right.
Hooker's not having to do that.
When you ain't got to do it, it don't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, our offensive line's just that good, I think. I mean, our offensive line proved yesterday that they were.
They were.
Well,
did you see the video? And I don't know if this was something made up, but where one of the linemen threw up. And then,
I watched it live on TV, and I'm like, my man is a badass. Pardon my French. He just looked over there and just shook his head like, yep.
Like, yeah.
That just happened.
Too much orange Gatorade, but it was fantastic because I'm just watching and I was like, my man just puked right there and just started like nodding. It's like, he went right into the head game. Like he started going to the head game.
Speaking of the numbers, he was talking about the numbers. Hooker does not own the
best QBR,
the top place for passing yards. It's still held by Rodgers at
that's all
Mississippi
they
State,
do.
that's all they do. That's all they do. So he has 2,331 yards rushing. Ole Miss, welcome back to the rushing game this week. They've got 1,900 total rushing yards, and Arkansas still holds the highest in sacks, 21 in sacks. Crazy.
Yeah, Arkansas stinks at every other position. Their defense is horrendous. Horrendous.
But they like to sack. Somehow they can sack. They can't guard.
They're either going to be it's either going to be a sack or they're going to give up 40 yards.
I love looking at this particular thing right here, and that is Alabama in second place in the West. Love it.
Yeah, they'll still win.
I kind of like that look of number 3 in the country for us too.
I agree.
Yes.
I really think what's made the biggest difference is probably our rushing game. Who would have thought? Jamari Small is a beast out there because Heupel's all about passing, but if you can keep it more balanced,
did you see Saban? Did you see his after the game conference where he said they shit on us. He said we ran and ran. We couldn't stop the run. They ran on us.
I thought that was from when they got beat by Ole Miss a couple years ago, and somebody just repurposed it for that. Anyway, look at it. It's true.
It's true.
Well, we couldn't stop them either.
No,
they just took a little longer than us.
That Gibbs. That Gibbs is a beast.
Or he transferred from somewhere.
For once, we're falling forward and gaining positive yardage.
Correct.
Every time. The push that we're getting out of the offensive linemen in the piles. Just the psychology of that mid-game. You remember watching the Florida game a couple of weeks back? They drove us at the 1 yard line, almost damn near back into the wall there at Neyland Stadium. And there was some chippiness there. And what did we do? We responded with a 99-yard drive to end the half that, in my opinion, I think it changed the tone and set the tone going forward for the game that you are not going to push us in our house to the back wall there. And so to see, for years we've seen people push Tennessee back because we really haven't had the athletes to compete. But we haven't had the right mentality. I know I spoke on that a little bit last year. So to see that fight, that I'm going to throw it. I guess maybe that guy should have thrown up on the guy, and that would have been a real,
I've
real
heard
BDE
stories of that
there.
before.
So yeah, I mean, just to see that is certainly heartwarming, man. We've got some fight in us for sure, and I think some things are really shaping up for a special season.
So I said last week prior to the game, because in LSU we had over 100 yards in penalties, and I said we can't do that. The team that gives up 100+ yards in penalties is the team that's going to lose
Most of the time.
Alabama had 17 penalties, totaling 130 yards, and which I did not pay attention to this as an overall scheme, is Alabama entered that game 121st in the country in penalties.
Yeah.
And now that was with 49 total penalties. Now they have 66. They're going to be, I mean, they're going to be very close to the bottom.
That's not a Nick Saban coach team sounds like. You know
No.
what I mean? That doesn't sound normal, is what I mean.
No.
Very uncharacteristic for sure.
And prior to that, I was thinking, Duke, we talked to the game talking about Tennessee's fine. And I said, I thought it was the first fine was 50,000. And it was 100,000.
That's a drop.
Hey, I heard you guys talking a little bit about point spreads, so let me tell you a little bit about that because I was all over it. I think the over/under was 64.5. The actually sprinkle a little bit of money. Byrd, I know you and I spoke on the phone a little earlier in the week about how I just had a feeling how this game was going to go. It was very reminiscent of the '98 Florida game, the pent-up aggression, the excitement, the national stage again of a top 5 matchup, top 6. So I sprinkled a little bit on a 5-game parlay this weekend with Tennessee points, Alabama points, the over, Tennessee for the spread +7, and Tennessee money line, and it paid handsomely. So
yes, it did.
Go Vols, way to go through on that. I'm going to pat both you and I. We talked about that and we kind of agreed on how we felt that And I said, if Bryce Young plays, it's going to be literally whoever has the ball last sort of game. Right. I think we might have boat raced him if were it not for him being in the game. If he'd have got knocked out or didn't play, didn't start, it'd be a different situation. And finally, I hope anybody that was there got themselves on some of this right here. All right, 1998 Florida grass. Orange and white, baby. So I hope you guys did what you know to do down there. It's funny, the next week that we went to the Houston game, there was holes in the field everywhere that were spray painted green or orange and white. And, probably 200 guys in yellow jackets surrounding and looking up at us. That's when that all started. Like, we're going to rush the field for Houston.
For Houston. Yeah, no, not happening.
42-7, let's do it.
Not happening. Now we might have to pay for the damage done to the field in Athens if we win that game.
No, there's going to be if we beat Georgia in Georgia, there's going to be fist fights. That's how bad the fans are in Georgia. They're going to try to fight us just to fight us.
I don't know that Georgia can put up the points that Alabama can. I don't know if
they could probably stop us though.
We definitely need to talk about it, but before Georgia, we have Kentucky.
I hate Kentucky. I hate.
And we
Kentucky.
said in the first episode this week that Kentucky's relying on 2 people. They've got a decent defense, but they're relying on Will Levis, who is still injured but has a week, and they rely on the running back, Rodriguez. He looked good. Rodriguez looked really good. I mean, that's all that they had really against.
Their offensive line's good. That's why they
Mississippi State.
But our run defense is fantastic. I think.
I think so. Personally, and I know we're going on this little premature.
That's what she said.
But I think we smoke them.
Yeah, I don't think it's close, man.
It's in Knoxville, right? Really Game's in Knoxville, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh. Maybe let's keep our fingers crossed. What if they run out with a beer barrel? What if they do it?
Ooh.
Danny
You said
White
that-
is a wild man. And you know the beer barrel is on campus at UT somewhere.
Run out with it when they know that they're.
No, I'm talking about we come out of the tunnel with it like, oh, it's back on. We're the last ones
It'd
to
be
win it.
cool. Knowing why they retired it in the first place, I doubt it'll ever happen. But it would be cool if that could get back.
No, I mean I know why they
the
retired it too,
rivalry.
but I'm just saying it would be cool.
It'd be good, yeah. Spice it up a little bit because Lord knows that they're not going to. I don't understand why there's so much an attempt to make them seem more relevant or more scary than they are. I'm with you, Brandon. I think that I don't think it's close.
Kentucky has beaten probably a poorly ranked Florida team week 2, and then beat by Ole Miss, beat by South Carolina, unranked South Carolina.
Levis was out that game.
And he
just remember that, yeah.
And he was. And then, plus Beamer Ball forget Levis being out. Beamer Ball got lucky twice in that game.
Special teams.
Yeah. And then, of course, they did just beat Mississippi State, who was ranked 16th.
They might be the streakiest team in the SEC, maybe in the nation. You don't know. They can either be really, really good or really, really bad.
So 5-2 overall. Their two losses are conference losses. I think they might put up 21 on us. But I don't
know. Their defense is pretty good.
I think we're in them upper 40s, low 50s against.
I mean, do you think their defense is better than Alabama's? Let's be honest. Is their defense better than Alabama? We just dropped half 100 on Alabama.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Do you think that?
But at the same time, we could always play down too. I'm just waiting for that time that Tennessee plays down to their competition like they've done the past 20 years.
I don't think Heupel allows that.
Battered ball syndrome.
That's me. That is like on the SEC short. I am guilty as charged. That's why I text Byrd every single game. We're going to lose this game, and I tell him the score and I do it a couple times during the game.
Oh yeah. So,
I do it every game. Hand up. I'm one of the, from the SEC short where they call it. What was it battered ball syndrome? Is that what they called it?
Here it is.
Yeah,
yes.
battered ball. You're a nega ball.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, but the thing is, I do it for my own good because once we win, it makes it feel so much better.
Yesterday, starting at 3:00.
Yep.
We're gonna lose 30. We're gonna lose 35-21.
Yep, that's exactly what I said.
Hey, just change your screen name to Negatron next week.
I just don't like to get my hopes up and get let down, and it's been that way for a long time. You know what I mean?
So question is after we come off of a win from Kentucky, is Kentucky still ranked, first off?
Yeah, they're 22nd, right?
So we beat them. I mean, we should already be in the first spot. We should definitely at least be second, but of course, sitting in third. Does game day, SEC Nation, and all that travel to Athens for that?
Yes, that's a 1v2 probably.
Once we smoke Kentucky. And then you look down through Kentucky's schedule, they beat a over-ranked preseason Oregon, and then nobody. And then they blow the doors off South Carolina, and then Kent State. Mizzou, they have to come back in the fourth quarter against Mizzou to win that game.
Do they fire Drinkwitz this year?
No. Smoke Auburn, smoke Vandy. This week they have Florida. I'm sorry, they are off this week.
Oh, Kentucky and Georgia are off this week.
Kentucky and Georgia are off this week, so they will play Florida the week prior to us.
I bet that's a fun game to go to.
So you look at strength of schedule. You look at who they beat.
I think we have the 10th hardest in the nation. I think I saw that.
You look at who they've beat and then who has given them a hard way to go. And them having to come up back on the fourth quarter of a Mizzou game, come on. We blew the doors off Mizzou last year.
The mailman is so streaky.
He's streaky, but he's put up 2,033 yards this year.
Yeah.
And Brock Bowers is not to be messed with.
That's the tight end, right?
That dude's insane.
If we could put similar pressure on Stetson Bennett that we did on Bryce Young, it's going to be a completely different ball game for us.
I agree than in years past because he is nowhere near as elusive.
I was about to say I thought Stetson Bennett was probably a better runner than.
No,
you don't think he is?
No.
No.
I mean, why? Because he broke off for 49 yards last week.
I forget he is a white bread,
and he looked like a white guy, and he looked like he was gonna get whiplash. Yeah, while he was doing it.
He's fast.
He was going, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
What was that? Makes him like a little giant,
short little legs.
Yes,
he just looks fast.
Little giants.
Little giants. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
That's a fantastic film. I have not watched it in a while.
Actually, that particular line is from Rookie of the Year with the kid before he got on American Pie, when he's up to bat for his first time. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And his mom's, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Yeah, love that movie. All right, guys.
We're going to do some picks?
We got the game. How bad are we going to beat UT Martin? Let's start off there and pick it.
I would almost say Milton plays the full second half.
That I think would be
unless they're worried about the Heisman race. Depends on what Hooker does the first half.
That's true. All right, Adam, what's the score?
I'm going to go 63-6.
Dang, that's one of my kind of scores.
Is the 6 a missed extra or is it 2 field goals?
No, it's 3 safeties.
That's even crazier. I love it.
In the fourth quarter.
In the fourth.
Wherever Navy Schuler's in.
Yeah, they need to let him have at least one snap. I was going to say 52-14.
I think that it is time for a blowout game, and I'm going to go with a Georgia score from this weekend and go 55-0. That has it. I almost said number 6, like I was going back a week prior. Your number 3 balls in town. UT Martin, probably a sellout crowd for something that normally wouldn't be 75% full. It's going to be loud. UT Martin's going to have delay a game penalties like crazy, burn up their timeouts and before the second quarter starts. Not going to be able to hear a bunch of miscues. Tennessee's going to take advantage of them. Just full on bloodbath.
A celebratory scrimmage this Saturday.
Celebratory scrimmage before bringing in Kentucky. We want to thank you guys for watching. Remember, wherever you are, we are at TN Fan Talk. Follow us online, social media. That would be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
TikTok,
all that jazz. Have a good week. Go Vols.
Go Vols.
Go Vols.